Okay, it looks like I am live now. Well, it should be on Hellfire 2.
So are you streaming the Discord audio or?
I can only stream everything on mine. You'll have to take my audio for this.
Alright. Alright, when you're ready.
So I can just head over to live?
Yep.
Okay. What's up, Aussie?
Hey, Darch. Or I'm just... I'm pretty sure I'll click away that little banner at the top there.
Yeah, this game's got a little bit of noise at the top and the bottom.
Yeah. Anyways, looks like we're good to go, dude.
Cool. Let me just make one last little adjustment to your volume so it's not overpowering anything. Reset stick, where are you? So do we have the character name for the hero here?
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now.
Okay.
Sorry, my computer's still been recovering from me breaking the emulator. Yeah, we have a name for Crystalis.
What do we got?
Magoo. Base Kirby Master.
Yep. Yep. We'll open Ellen Split so I can see how the heck I'm doing. So did you get a chance to watch the highlight?
Unfortunately, no. It's been a funny.
It's fine. We'll make it work.
I got about half of it memorized, or at least somewhat. Matrick hates axe throwers. Got it.
Okay, perfect. We are set. So am I good to go?
Yeah, so count down when you're ready.
All right then. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. You're lucky. I gave you a real countdown. Normally I just screw with Matt. Alright, so welcome to Crystalis, everyone. Actually doing a little bit of RNG manipulation in this first town. I want the NPCs to be going very specific directions, so I don't have to talk to all of them. I also have to remember to buy an antidote, because this is a marathon run. Bump into that little flower pot there, just to make sure to advance the global counter a little bit. This is going to cause a spawn to happen outside of town. It's going to allow me to get an extra experience, which saves about 2 seconds. Slime right there, and then I get the other slime here. Those are guaranteed if I just do those movements in town every single time. Now, the biggest thing about this game is that it has mandatory grinding, so to speak. You have to be very specific levels in order to be able to damage anything in basically each subsequent area. Like, I can hurt everything in this area at level 1, no problem, but as soon as I enter the cave in the next area, I have to be level 2 to be able to even damage stuff. So I gotta be able to get enough experience to level up before I head in there. So the route for this game heavily revolves around just how optimized the experience route is. Just trying to get as much experience on the way to the target rather than... Let slime get over here. Rather than having to stop and grind. It's not always possible to avoid it, but the amount that it has to be done has been minimized quite heavily. So I just woke that guy up with an alarm flute, the one I bought in town, and I'm just going to throw the key across the room. That's good enough to get it into the keyhole. charge my sword up here. You're not going to see a lot of sword. You're going to see sword charging a lot when I'm getting to break open a wall, but not so much for attacking enemies. But right here, it's actually going to be a little bit helpful. I'm going to pop. Oh, and the slime was not cooperative and was not on the bridge for me. There's a slime that can be down on that bridge that I can kill with that shot, and it saves about a second if he's in the right spot. But unfortunately, he was not. Okay, so that grind's done. I just need to go to about 21 experience. It's a very quick grind, and then the rest of it I'm just going to get out in the field. I'm getting hit more often than I should be. Not really warmed up yet. Didn't have time for a practice run beforehand. We'll make it work, though. Okay, normally I would not equip the refresh spell right now. I would normally wait until I get the ball of water. But out of safety, I'd rather have my HP now rather than later. Because I'm getting hit a lot. These things move very randomly, so it's very easy to take hits when you don't want to, like I am.
Kind of reminds me a bit of Soul Blazer in terms of just dealing with enemy movement.
Yeah, it's... Some of the enemies are random, some of them will actually try to like hobble towards you. Slimes and those slugs are ones that will... Slimes are also very... These red slimes are actually very dangerous because they can also poison me, which is... Poison will kill you in this game.
What is it, like a consistent damage tick down?
Yeah, it ticks 4 HP every whatever, how many ever seconds. It will tick straight down to 0 though. And at the early parts of the game, it's pretty lethal. Slime, please. Slime, please! Oh god, okay. These slimes scare the living piss out of me. You need to go up against a wall or something. Alright, there we go. I should be alright now. So once again, set up to get my level just as I'm entering the boss area. I need to be level 3 for this guy, otherwise I just flat out can't damage him. This guy is an RNG nightmare. Except that he gave me a really good pattern for a change. Normally he likes to go from opposite end of the room to opposite end of the room and just waste a lot of time, but that was actually a really good fight. Okay, I did not get the lucky spawn there. You heard Aussie mention axe throwers a little while ago. Another guy who runs this is Matrick, and he absolutely hates these things. I've kind of learned how to deal with them, but he gets bodied by them pretty regularly. Nope, got a despawn there. So if you see me doing any like funky movement, hang on, let me equip some stuff. If you see me doing any like funny movement or anything, like I moved way over to the right there before heading back to the left, that was to give the axe throwers time to respawn. In this game, despawns are usually a bad thing because we need experience. No, that's not how that shop's supposed to go. I keep messing up the shop glitch. Please. Okay, that should be maxed out. Let me double check. Okay, good. Okay, so what I was doing there was buying, quote-unquote, some warp boots. What I was actually doing, however, was moving the cursor so fast I was confusing the game as to what I was actually buying. What it was is, it was taking the price of the previous slot and applying it to the price of the item in this slot that I was actually... get out of here, Axor. It was applying that price to the slot that I was moving to. So it was basically taking the blank slot, which has a price of 0, and moving that to the warp boots, which normally cost 65, but it was applying that price to them. So I just bought 7 pairs of warp boots for absolutely nothing. 'Cause that's how we do things in the real world, right?
The 5-finger discount.
Alright, 90 experience, I'm only 5 short. I know how to make up for that. And now to advance the plot, I just walked over to that town and activated it as a warp point and then just immediately left. That's actually a necessary trigger to trigger this fight here. And we're going to win this fight by just popping a pair of warp boots and leaving. We have to teleport back to the first town. That sets the flag for us winning the fight. If I teleported directly to this town, it would have automatically lost the fight. Something about just the way the teleports work in memory makes it so we win or lose. And teleporting to the other town would have actually... teleporting to the other town actually would have soft-locked the game, which we don't want to do that. So I rescued this woman's kid, who was lost out in the swamp. She gives me a flute that will summon a dangerous insect, because that's the kind of rewards you get in this game.
That's terrible.
So here, thanks for saving my kid. There's this giant insect out in the swamp. Do you think you could go kill it for us too?
The just rewards of a hero named Magoo.
So we'll be killing that insect, but I have to be level 4 to even be able to damage it. So we're going to go do a little bit more grinding. I'm actually going to go most of the way to level 5, because the area after it, area immediately after it requires that I'm level 5. I need to get to 202 through level 4, and then the rest of it I can get on the way. So this area here is just the best we have for grinding for the moment. Mushrooms are worth 8, axe throwers are worth 5. I need to kill you too. And then this guy comes up, I'll take care of him. So this loop actually is relatively quick. Crap, I need that coin. I don't need it for the money, but coins, if left on the ground, will occupy spawn slots, which means it will cause enemies to just despawn. When an enemy tries to spawn, if there's a coin or a projectile on screen that's taking up their spawn slot, they just will not spawn, and that's really bad. God damn, I keep missing the coins. That's actually really bad in this game. Okay, should be... oh crap, I came up earlier than he should have. I'm gonna hope nothing despawns. I need one more loop.
Yeah, one thing I do remember from watching you run is just how random the axe throwers are with how many, not just where they throw the axes, but how many they throw. You can throw up to 3, I recall.
Yeah. They don't play very nice. They've... where are you? I need this tomato. Alright, Mosquito just took off. Now we're gonna go fight the giant insect. Mosquito, get out of here. Okay, so this boss, the real danger isn't the boss itself, it's the death mosquito that comes with it. That I just killed. Oh god, now I'm afraid. Oh, no. We're dodging. We're spending time dodging. So, that mosquito, its shots do half my life. That.
Yeah, it's one of those cases where the enemies the boss spawns is more dangerous than the actual boss itself.
Yeah, that one is a unique case. The boss does quite a bit of damage too, but the mosquito is way more dangerous. Okay, so I use the inn there. Normally I do not like using the inn in Bryn Mawr there. It's a 10-second loss every time I do. It's halfway across town, but I'd rather play it safe because the next area is the most dangerous area in the game by a pretty wide margin. So, welcome to Mount Saber South. I went in and out to create a checkpoint, so in case I die, it will start me right there. And I'm likely not going to say a lot while I'm down here, because this area is actually extremely dangerous. We're going to be here for a while. Oh, okay, good. Got a good slope counter. Nope, spider didn't spawn. Also, spider hitboxes are absolutely terrible. They're disjointed straight down. You'll probably see it before the end of this area, but it's very easy to just get repeatedly bodied by these things because their hitboxes don't match.
Yeah, basically, imagine that the top half of their sprite doesn't even have a hitbox.
I'm poisoned. Okay. This is why we have safety antidote. Spider, what do you... No, I'm not killing you. Fire, I'm gonna heal up. I have to be mindful of my MP. I need to save 20 to be able to teleport off of this mountain. I'll be learning the spell on this mountain, so... I need to make sure I've got enough that I can do that when I get to the end of it. Okay, we're gonna do 2 quick zombie loops here around this kind of ring. Zombie, please don't keep hitting me. Zombies are worth 12 experience a pop, and this loop doesn't actually take all that. Oh god, you're going the wrong way. I don't like when he goes all the way to the right like that. Alright. Turn the refresh back on. Gonna keep refresh off at this point so I don't accidentally use MP. Alright, spiders are down. Brain, please. I don't see the brains. I could have gotten both of them. Oh well. Okay, wait over here for a moment. That's going to cause these 3 guys to all spawn. Switch swords, please. Alright, no problems with spiders this time for the most part. Alright, that was actually a pretty decent Mount Saber South outside of getting bodied by the zombies. Pop back to Oak, we're gonna hit the inn, because I don't want to stay low on health like that. Or MP. And I need 34 experience. Let's see what we come out of here with. Good cooperative tomatoes. 18 experience left. We'll go for the mushrooms to cover the last of it. Oh, mushroom despawn. Still need to get an extra slime. Alright, now I'm level 6. I'm able to kill everything on Mount Saber North here. You saw me do a kind of an awkward movement coming into the place. There's actually a barrier there that you're supposed to go advance the plot a little more by going back to Leaf and realizing that there's been a kidnapping. I skipped that by walking between the hitboxes for the barrier. Should be good. Okay, so you can see this start to get used a little bit more often. I'm going to be in the air when I try to attack things. Not a ton, but please don't poison. Okay, these guys are dangerous too. These red brains here can poison. But you're gonna notice me using jumping strats against a lot of the soldiers in here. because they have a sword that does a lot of damage, and the way the game works is, while it allows jumping, the game isn't truly 3D, so it's kind of giving you a fake 3D effect. So it moves my sword's hitbox to wherever the sprite is, but just makes me completely immune to anything like melee. So they won't be able to touch me at all. And I'm going to use that on a few packs of soldiers here before the end of this. But first we're going to do a little bit of grinding here, because this is by far the best spot to get experience in this area. I need to go all the way to 1100 experience, so this is going to be a little bit. The reason I don't do it straight up on the soldiers or anything is because the soldiers are very dangerous. They're worth 25 experience apiece, whereas these guys are only worth 15. But the soldiers, even if I kill them optimally, like I'm able to get about the fastest kill I can get on them, it's still a few frames slower to kill individual soldiers. However, the remaining soldiers I'm going to kill are all going to come in, groups of 2 and hopefully stack up. That's why I actually go after extra soldiers, is because that possibility of them stacking up does end up saving time if they feel like doing it.
It's a good moment to talk about something.
Go for it.
Yeah, I'd like to take this moment to make a plug for some of our upcoming bid wars and naming incentives we got. You guys can still affect the ending choice for Silhouette Mirage. You can choose the good ending or the bad ending. And let me tell you, the good ending is not what you expected. Neither is the bad ending. You'll be quite surprised either way. But if you want to see one in particular, you can certainly affect that choice. And you can also affect the names for both the boy and the sprite in Secret of Mana. Currently, the boy has Doug as its name for the moment, and the sprite has nothing. So it's very still early to affect those names.
Okay, got the bad RNG on the first pack, so I'll have to kill a different soldier. This guy usually works. So this is the prison. It's supposed to be anyway. If you actually visited Leaf and learned about the kidnapping, all the kidnapped townspeople would be in these 2 rooms. But because we never did that, well, they're not here. Alright, let's hope I get some cooperative soldiers here. Yeah, I did. I just need to get him on screen. Okay, level 7. Now I can actually kill the boss. This boss is an RNG nightmare. The best strat is to just kill him before he kills me. Okay, fire this thing. So, menuing. I'm sure you've seen plenty of it already. Menuing is a huge part of this run. My current record on this game is a 58-14, and my old record was a 101-39, and I'd estimate at least a minute to a minute and a half of that was just optimized menuing. Like, it doesn't cost a lot of time in any one menu, but it will nickel and dime you over the course of the game. And with how much menuing there is, it's imperative that you know exactly what you want in each menu and not enter it multiple times. Okay,
Crystalis is a pretty heavily optimized game, so minor time saves from just menuing is surprisingly impactful.
Yeah, Matrick and I have put a lot of work into optimizing this route. Matt had some ideas that didn't necessarily pan out, but led to other ideas that did end up panning out.
Hey, that's the fun about routing.
And there's still a few other changes we want to try, but I mean, there's one in particular right here for the Medusa grind, coming out in this larger room and killing them instead of doing it in this room I'm about to enter. But I have not had a chance to practice killing them out there. I tried it last night and it wasn't going very well, so I figured I'll just stick with what I already know, and I'll worry about routing that at some other... Oh god, that one. So Medusas have a hitbox it's bigger than it should be. And they do 1/3 of my life in one hit. I literally die in 3 hits.
Ow.
They are one of the most dangerous enemies in the game because of how much damage they do. I'm going to be playing it ultra safe with them. I'm using Paralyze to just keep them in place. Unless I get lucky and they're already up against the wall. Yeah. Medusas also move completely randomly. So I'm not going to heal unless I get hit another time. I don't really want to have to heal if I don't have to. Because I'd rather have the MP... Oh, that was a bad spot to... Oh. Well, they're all stacked up at least. These Medusas... Oh, okay, now we'll heal. Okay, so I got 2 hits before... I can take 2 hits without dying. I need to go to 1400 experience, and now I'm really low on MP, so I can't use... I can't use paralysis as much.
It's crazy just how easy it is just to take a little hit here and just lose so much health.
I mean, it doesn't help that I don't have any armor, but I couldn't afford it when I got here anyway. Like, if I bought the best armor available, I could have taken, I think, 4 hits without dying. But you need at least 600 to be able to shock glitch it, and I didn't even have that when I entered town. Alright, I just need one more kill. I needed to save 20 MP so I could teleport out of there. That was the sole reason why I wasn't healing any farther. Okay, so I'm going to pause here briefly. This is going to give a couple other enemies a chance to spawn. Because I need 200 before I enter the next cave. So, rather, I need to be level 8 when I enter the next cave, or I can't damage anything. Nice! Wow, there goes half my health because of Axe Thrower. Part of that was my fault. I swung too late, but then he threw an axe and I wasn't expecting it.
I'm okay with blaming an axe thrower.
Okay, let's hope I don't get my... Okay, pause there. That causes this guy to spawn. Want those flyers. There's my level. Dodge the flyer, dodge this thing, go into the cave, and we're gonna heal. Wow, the flower didn't spawn. Oh, that guy despawned. Okay, whiffed on that sword swing. And the mushroom still didn't spawn. Oh, I'm poisoned. I just kind of expect to be poisoned in this run now. Like, these 2 caves are really bad about this, but at this point, poison isn't lethal anymore. Or it's not anywhere near as bad unless it happens, like, right at the beginning of the dungeon. But, like, I got poisoned so late into it that it didn't even matter. So I don't need to worry about having safety antidotes on hand anymore. Now, before we head off to the other cave, I need to go help a dolphin. Because every game needs a dolphin, right?
Yeah, I can see that.
First, I gotta talk to the Queen, though, who's actually a wise man. Taught me the recover spell, so now I don't need antidotes anyway. Also, I have to bring this medical orb with me because Dolphin's injured. Also, just skip the cutscene where you'd normally watch the dolphin swim back out to sea. I skipped it by doing a frame-perfect magic input, and that allowed me to just... oh god, these slugs. It allowed me to just teleport away before the cutscene even started.
One thing I really have to compliment this game for, because you don't really think about it nowadays, but in an NES game to have this kind of visual quality and smooth scrolling is actually kind of impressive.
Well, this was a pretty late-gen NES game. It was released in '90.
Yeah, it is pretty late, actually. I thought this was earlier.
I will note, though, this was made by the same people who made Athena.
Wow, that's a step up in quality.
Because of all the despawns in the previous cave, I'm a little lower in experience than I normally would be. I've actually gotten the level off of that mushroom that I just killed back there. I'll be getting it off this one instead. I can start using water again, because the spiders are vulnerable to it. Oh, wow, okay. You can do that, spider. That's fine. I'm poisoned again. Nope, nope, no menu there. It's right here. Fog lamp, this. And because I got poisoned, I'll just visit the inn again. So we went in there to get the fog lamp so we could give it to this guy, and he's now going to let us use his boat. That's the whole reason we went into that cave, is he lost his fog lamp. I don't know how it got in that cave. I'm not going to ask questions. Gonna talk to him. That's a necessary trigger to be able to use the shell flute, which is going to summon the dolphin. Now we can ride around in the ocean. Gonna make one quick stop off here in this town called Joel. This is also a necessary plot trigger. I can't enter the Evil Island, the Evil Spirit Island cave without entering the town first. It just won't let me.
Wow, that's a name for an island.
You just enter there to grab that love pendant that Kensu somehow dropped in the water. Don't question how. That's also a necessary item for later. And welcome to the grind. Am I using the wrong sword? I didn't even know I could damage these guys with wind. Holy crap.
You know, I think this is actually the first time that I can think of that I've seen like an older game use mounted combat with a sword.
You know, I guess it's mounted combat. I wouldn't call it dolphin like. Oop.
You're raiding on top of it. It counts.
This is true. It's not your typical mount for certain. Okay, so for this grind, I actually have to go all the way to level 11. Normally, even if I were going to be doing this cave, spoilers, I'm going to be skipping this entire dungeon. Even if I were doing it, I'd have to grind most of the way to 11 and then get the rest of it on the way through the cave itself. But there's a neat little, there is a neat little glitch we're going to do that's going to allow us to completely skip this cave.
And that's rather nice, too. I remember Matrick saying that how much he hated this cave.
This dungeon is awful. It's easily the worst dungeon. In 100%, we actually determined it's... the definition for 100% for this game is all permanent items and all bosses. So we do end up having to do this cave. It ends up being faster to still skip it and come back later to do it. We come back with the flight spell later and we can avoid having to make bridges or anything, and the bosses die in like 2 hits each. But this dungeon is absolutely irritating to try and deal with because they just... there's a cave system that you have to use a couple of elevators to get around in. Most of the enemies paralyzed. You fight another vampire like we fought at the beginning of the game, so that's just an RNG hell. And the boss of it, you don't have the barrier spell yet, and you can't block her projectiles. And it's just overall not a fun dungeon. So we're just gonna grind all the way to 11 here so I can just completely skip it and not think about it at all.
So I hear grinding, so I'm going to take this time to say, well, welcome everybody. Well, this is the California Fire Relief Marathon. We are putting on a charity event to help raise money for the American Red Cross's California Wild Relief Campaign Fund. All the money is going towards this to help the people and families that have been affected by wildfires in the state of California. It's been a pretty rough couple of years. There's a lot of people that could use the help, so we feel that this is a cause worth going for.
Indeed.
So if you have any at all money that you'd like to donate for this cause, please do so. Reminder that it only takes $5, and you will be in the running for one of many prizes that we have. You can find a list of those prizes on our schedule.
So, I did the skip while Aussie was explaining things about the charity. Basically, it's a frame-perfect jump off of the dolphin. When I dismount the dolphin, there is... Oh, crap, I almost didn't change. There's a one-frame window where it will accept the jump input and think I am still over the water. So I tricked the game into thinking that I'm flying. I teleported the wrong town. Good job, me. I just replaced those warp boots. We'll try that again. But what happens is I jump the same frame, I dismount the dolphin, and it thinks I'm still over the water, so it allows me to do a jump, and then it suddenly thinks I'm flying, and allows me to just fly over the rest of the ocean. Which otherwise you'd have to do that entire dungeon, collect a couple of items, go back and forth into town, and then set a statue up, or place a statue on the island that I did the glitch from. It's pretty it's like a good 5 minutes to do the entire dungeon, so it's a pretty huge time save being able to do that. It's a little finicky on the timing because there's no good visual cues or anything for it. But I got a third try, which is actually pretty good overall. So now we have the Spell of Change. I've been using it to do a couple of things. Namely, get into the Rebel Town here, and I'll change back in front of the guards because they're not terribly bright. We're also going to buy, quote-unquote, some armor. And then I actually did buy those magic rings. There was no reason for me to try and steal them because those were those were two. That's like all the way on the right, and there's no blank spots. I couldn't get them for free. I could possibly get them cheaper if I wanted to, but it's not really worth it. So now I actually have armor that I bought for free. I just walked in and say, "Hey, can I have some armor?" He's like, "Here, have some." Well, see ya.
Turns out it's got a massive hole in the back.
So my defense just went up pretty substantially. That's the second best armor and shield in the game.
And he just gives it to you?
Yeah, we don't question it. I have my haggling methods. No puddles, or at least none that spawn close enough. Alright, so this barrier. Heal up. And take the magic off. And now we're going to do our next grind. And you're going to be introduced to another important character in this game. His name is Bert. We're going to be grinding on Bert for a little while here, because he's worth a lot of experience for this point in the game, and I wasn't listening. I need to make sure I hear whether or not I jump back into the previous room, and I wasn't listening again.
Yeah, 700 experience points per kill is not bad. Or at least close to 700.
It's 672 to be exact. So I'm not going all the way to 13. I'm going to go about 3/4 of the way there. Swear to God, whenever I mess that up once, I will always mess it up like twice or 3 times. Fortunately, if I just walk back out of the room, I won't take a hit. Don't worry, this is the last long grind in the game. There are a couple more grinds, but they're not terribly long.
It's just the name of the game, and that's what happens when you put RPG mechanics in some of these older games. They have to pad it out some way to extend the gameplay. It's how you got around, you know, basically having so little memory.
Oh my God, jump please. Alright. I'm gonna heal up again. I'm gonna hope for 2 puddles to actually form in front of me here. There's none so far. Oh, there's one. But I couldn't manage to swing my sword in the correct direction, so I didn't get him. I was trying not to run into him because he'll poison and can do some decent damage, so I was trying to keep my distance, and it just wasn't quite working out the way I wanted it to. So 2 more puddles that could form. If the first one doesn't form, though, I'm not going to bother with the second one. Okay, so there's no point in bothering the second one. It won't actually help me even if he does. Now for this room that is really dangerous, these eyeballs are basically just Medusas that do more damage. Thankfully they all got out of my way there, so that helps. HP is actually looking alright, so I'm just going to burn a magic ring. Should have equipped that with this. It's an extra menu. Okay, so we're heading into Goa Fortress. Or not. The Rebel Town's being attacked. We need to go save it. Don't worry, guys. They're just sleeping. They're not actually dead.
Yeah, I too sleep with my face down on the ground.
He's not giving me a very good pattern. Please be a 3? Nope. Nope, nope. It's gonna have to be a 4. Four cycle there is below average. 3 is average. 2 is god tier if you happen to get all the perfect hits. But I'm going to make a little detour here. I'm going to go pick up an accessory that they don't tell you is actually mandatory. I'm going to hope that these mosquitoes in here play nice. I know they're here. No mosquitoes? Absolutely none? Wow, I think this is the first time I've ever been to that cave that the mosquitoes did not show up at all. Okay, so now we have the power ring. And I'm gonna just hit the end just for safety. Power ring increases my attack power by an amount equal to my level. Which is extremely busted, given that every enemy does have a defense value. Oh crap! I forgot to. No, I did. Every enemy has their own defense value. Some of them are meant to be much more tankier, and the power ring pretty much negates like high defenses. So it's gonna make pretty much every boss from here on out trivial. Trivial in number of hits, anyway. You need to. There we go. I need 2 more soldiers. There's gonna be 1 more in my way on the way to the boss. So I'll take care of level 13, then I'll be able to kill both this and the next boss. There. So now we get the boss refights. This is the same guy I found on Mount Saber South, except he's got a new shiny laser. But he goes down in like 5 or 6 swings, because power ring. I didn't want that equipped. Oh, nice. Flail spawns immediately upon entering the room. So this room's kind of weird. I mentioned earlier that projectiles can take up spawn slots, and there's these 2 enemies in this room that have flails. The flails count as a projectile, so they do occupy a spawn slot. And in this room, if the flail wielders spawn first, it will prevent the flyers from spawning, or rather the mosquitoes. Which is really, 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 really good, because the mosquitoes have this pollen that they spread around that will paralyze you, and paralysis in this game prevents you from charging your sword, which I obviously need to get across these rivers, and there's going to be a steel wall coming up that I need to bust open as well. So by having these guys spawn first, it makes it so I don't have to worry about the flyers. So here's a boss we haven't seen yet because I skipped her dungeon. And, well, she's dead. She's not important enough to mention the name of. Alright, so now we're going to do the next grind. This one isn't terribly long because the enemy We go from getting 672 in the last grind to 1280 for this grind. It's just a matter of how many despawns am I going to get. I'm going to try and avoid getting any, because I've gotten pretty good at being able to make sure they all actually spawn. Just by delaying a little bit here and there, doing some weird movements.
It's such a weird thing to hear from a speedrunner that you actually don't want to despawn things.
This is like one of the only games where you will hear that. I mean, there's a few situations where despawns are nice, like the mosquitoes in the previous area, but beyond that, we want almost everything to spawn because we need all the experience. Fortunately, this grind's pretty short. I just need a handful more spiders here. Okay, he just fired a projectile, so I'm going to wait a little bit longer than normal, because it could have ended up despawning this guy. Same thing, he fired one. I'm going to wait a little longer. Okay, that should be... Okay, there we go. No despawns, that's perfect. Not quite level 14, I do need that for the next boss, but there'll be enough on the way that I can get the rest of it. I don't need this bat. He's not very reliable anyway. There's going to be a moth here. I'm going to take him out. Push the fire. We're going to use charged fire shots here. There's going to be a bit of lag. I'm going to be playing it fairly safe here. Yup! Oh, wow, crap. I didn't fire that at the right time. I need the experience from this guy. Ah, you are in that fire. Don't argue with me. So I'm glad I had barrier running there, because otherwise it would have knocked me off the platform. I keep firing them in the wrong direction. I need all this experience. And he walked off screen. And... Alright. That should do it. I let him... That was awful. I kept pressing right before I'd fire my shots, and I kept firing them off into nowhere, because I was trying to dodge around them. Wow, you are not supposed to be down there. There's the level. I'm gonna have to use a magic ring during the fight. But yeah, if they shoot you while you're on the platform with that paralysis beam, it will cause you to fall through the platform. That's why I was playing it really safe when having barrier active. By the way, here's Mado again. 2 round? Oh good, 2 round. Didn't have to use the magic ring. Only upgrade Mado got was he moves a bit faster and does a bit more damage. Okay, so we're going to pause here. It's going to give a flail guy a chance to spawn. Pause there, and he... Oh, got the despawn there. Ah. Fire at him, please. Have to paralyze those skeletons before I hit them, or they'll just collapse on every single hit. And it just takes forever to actually take them out if I do it that way. So paralyzing them prevents that from happening. Gonna wait here. This is gonna cause this puddle to apparently not spawn. Never mind. And then this one spawned but didn't form. That one also didn't form. I'm poisoned. Whatever. I'll just deal with it. And here's the final one. We haven't fought him before. His name's Carmine. And he gave me the perfect pattern, and I messed it up a little bit. Oh, wow. Well, now I'm a little scared. We'll heal that up. I was standing about a pixel too far away from him to actually be able to stab him properly. I want you to form so I can get some good experience. Oh, there we go. Those brown puddles are really worth it. They're worth 1,920 experience a pop. Okay, so here's the last wise man. This is Kensu. He taught me change, and he got himself turned into a slime, so that's why we had to go kill Carmine and get the ivory statue, so I could turn him back.
Turn into a slime, jeez.
Don't worry, they're still sleeping. They're fine. So I'm going to make one more trip back up this mountain because I need a key item from here called the Bow of Sun. Ah, crap, I'm poisoned again. Ah, whatever, I'll deal with it. You need the Bow of Sun to be able to enter the final area of the game. They also don't tell you this at any point, so you just kind of have to figure it out. Yeah, not getting very lucky with the puddles. Enemies here aren't worth that much experience, but anything that's like directly in the path is still worth taking out. Provided I'm not getting poisoned constantly. They still do quite a bit of damage though, despite me being level 14. Ooh, God, I thought I was gonna get hit by that. Thunder, this, warp boots, flight. So yeah, Kensu taught us the final magic spell, and that's flight. Now I can actually fly without having to do a glitch to get it. Okay, teleport to Goa. I will use the inn in Sahara instead of bothering to use the one here. I normally don't use the inn anywhere at this point. I'll just use magic rings and stuff, but I'm going to use the inn just out of safety. Oh, nice shot, bird. I'm a little concerned about my HP now. I might make it. This is going to be close. Okay, we made it. Usually don't use that, but again, safety. Townspeople, please get out of my way. Alright, last grind of the game. This one's not terribly long. I didn't get spawns at the beginning. Can usually get 7 scorpions per loop. Occasionally can get 8 if I'm really lucky up near the top, but that usually doesn't happen. Hey, get back here, you. Oop, I'll get 8 this cycle. Okay, I need to go to 19,500. Hey, you are not allowed to go down. I need to go all the way up here and make sure the other ones respawn. This is probably going to be the last loop right here. Timing my swings badly. Okay, yeah, this is the last loop. Rest of the experience I can get from here to the end of the game. These scorpions were not being very kind. They just kind of went everywhere. Okay, water and paralysis. I missed a split there. Oh, I need flight as well. So, Dragon's a pretty easy boss. Just dodge him and stab, and that's about all it takes. Needed to be 15 to kill him. I need to be 16 for the remaining bosses in the game. And nope. Was hoping for better reforms on the puddles. This, best armor, and the Bow of Sun, or Moon, whatever, whichever one it equips automatically, whichever one's closest to the left. Less menuing that way. Alright, they're dead. I'm switching back to the Wind Sword because these Warlocks in this next area are only damageable by the Wind Sword. I need 8 of them. It sucks because the Wind Sword is not terribly strong. These Warlocks also do a lot of damage, so I don't want to be getting hit by them. That's why I'm going to stay in flight the whole time. They also fire the Slime Beam, which is not something I want to be hit by either. I'm going to have to Magic Ring after this room.
Slime beam?
Yeah, that little, that circular beam that they fire out will turn me into a slime.
Oh, jeez.
That's how that wise man got turned into one, is because the boss that I fought... There's the slime! Yeah, I should...
Well, I guess it's a little worse than getting Moogled.
Okay, I need one more. Alright, level 16, max level. Heal up. Thunder, Barrier, and then Bolt Truth. And second to last boss right here. It's the same guy I just fought, except he has a real form. I took that hit to manipulate RNG in hopes of getting a better pattern. It's not guaranteed, but I'm gonna hope it worked. And... Oh. This could be it. Nope, did not get the best pattern. I got half of it. He did the lasers first. He can only be damaged when he's firing lasers like that. And you just kind of hope that he does it. Uh-oh. Wow. This guy is not playing nice. Yeah, I knew I was going to get hit there. That's fine. I have the opal statue to recover with. And I got like 8 seconds of invulnerability. So he's just an RNG nightmare because he can just go for lengths of time without actually opening up his weak point. So you can just waste a lot of time on him. Okay, good. This is the final area of the game. This robot's going the correct direction, so that's going to be really helpful. And I hope I can do some fast strats here. Wow, I actually pulled that off with the helicopter beating the crap out of me. I have plenty of magic rings in reserve just in case I need more MP. I have had runs die because I ran out of MP here. Get out of here, helicopter. Helicopter, please. These helicopters are the worst enemies in, like, the entire game. You know, sometimes I'm stabbing these white robots instead of using Thunderstorm. The big reason for that is lag reduction. If you didn't notice, as we call it, Lag Storm is incredibly laggy. We generally prefer not to use it if we don't have to. Oh wow, both going left. I can get all 3 of them easily now.
The power of lag.
I'm gonna have to heal because this stupid helicopter. Got the pattern for fast strats on this floor, and the helicopter was just in the way. Alright, so we're done with all the floors, all the robots. We just gotta take all my swords that I've collected over the course of the game and combine them into one. This is the Crystalis sword. We get it for exactly 1 fight, and you're gonna see it actually in use for all of 5 seconds. Because this isn't really a boss, kinda. And fight's over. With the Power Ring, this fight's trivial. With Barrier, this fight's trivial. And time is now.
GG.
Throw the sword into the reactor, and that's going to cause the place to blow up. Good job, Magoo. Somehow sticking the sword in there causes the tower to be struck by lightning. According to my splits, I got a 101.52. My timing's probably a little bit different than what some other people use. Still, sub 102 by my timing is a good run for a just one-off, just like a marathon type run, especially with all the safety strats I add in and the little bit of slop that I had. Ending itself is pretty short. We can quickly watch through it.
Well, thank you very much, Darch. That was a great run.
Yeah, glad to do it. This is I mean, this is one of my main games that I run, so always happy to show this one off.
Yeah, it's definitely one I missed growing up as a kid. I was pretty late when I came to the NES.
I actually found this game just by luck. A friend of mine had bought it and was, at the time, looking to make a little bit of money, so he sold a bunch of his games, and I bought this off him for like 20 bucks. So, I got lucky with that purchase.
Yeah, clearly. I mean, you're still playing it to this day, right?
Yeah, really. Anyway, that was Crystalis, guys. Up next we have... What do we got, Aussie?
Yeah, we got Hasty Ether playing Super Mario 64 DS.
Oh, that sounds like a good watch. You guys want to stick around for that.
Yeah, it's an 80-star run, too, so you're going to see a good, meaty run.
Awesome.
So we're going to run a quick 60-second ad while we're changing games, so hang on tight, folks.
Well, thanks for having me. I'm going to drop out of here.
All right.
Come on, one more?
One more. One more.
Okay.
Start the show. Yes! Totino's pizza rolls. Also, Totino stuffed